Alright, this is John Cole of okraw.com today with another exciting episode for you coming at you from my backyard garden. And it's a beautiful day here. Hope it is beautiful wherever you are, even if the sun isn't shining, even if it's raining out. It could be a beautiful day if you believe it to be a beautiful day. And in today's episode, that's what we're kind of going to talk about. It's about making every meal count. And today, right now, I just made my juice. And the juice I have here is actually 1 pineapple and 1 pound of cranberries juiced in a slow juicer. It's quite good. And one of my thoughts of late these days are I want to encourage you guys to make every meal you eat count. What does that mean? Well, maybe some of you guys are vegans and you want to make sure every meal that you eat is not coming from an animal and animals were minimally harmed, if at all, to produce your food. Now I say this because even, if they're growing organic produce, they could be spraying the organic produce with organic pesticides and killing bugs. So, there will be some creatures harmed in the production of your food, but you could minimize that. And that's the whole message, I believe, of veganism, is to do the minimal amount of harm that you could do on the planet, and especially, with the larger animals that people tend to focus on. But don't forget the birds and the bees and all the other creatures on the earth, including soil microbes that, are being killed off in droves when there's chemical farming, if you guys are still buying conventional produce. And that's why I grow my own, so I don't have to spray anything. If I don't want to, I'll spray high pressure water, and that just kind of discourages the bugs to hang out, and they go somewhere else when I can. And then also I encourage the soil microbiome, the soil life. But in any case, what do I mean about making every meal count? Mainly what I really mean is this: I want to encourage you guys to eat every meal, because every time you're hungry and you're going to open and put something in your mouth, you guys have a choice. You guys have a choice to make it vegan. You guys have a choice to make it, plant-based. You have a choice to make it raw. But even more importantly, you have an opportunity to eat foods that are going to help your body heal, ward off disease, and keep you young. And, whatever your goals are, I want you to encompass all your goals when you eat a meal. So, for example, the way this drink meets my goals, it's 1 fresh pineapple and 1 pound of cranberries. This meets my goal because it is from plants. Number 1, it's from 2 fruits, cranberry fruit and pineapple fruit. So that's really great. I'm not harming any animals or anything, like any larger mammals or any kind of animals like that. It's also plant-based. It's also raw. It's from whole foods that I created myself. That's also very important to me. But even more so than that, on top of that level, this meets my health goals, right? You could eat plant-based foods and they're not coming from animals, but they're not meeting your health goals. You could eat Coca-Cola and eat chips that are vegan, but in my opinion, those aren't going to help you meet your health goals. But what will make you reach your health goals are eating high percentage of fresh fruits and fresh vegetables in your diet, because these are the foods that have been identified on the entire planet with the most amount of phytochemicals and phytonutrients. Things like the quercetin and the bromelain enzymes and the different pigments, the lycopene pigments, and all these different pigments have different properties within us. Also, they contain high levels of antioxidants. More than any other foods, the fruits and vegetables contain high level of antioxidants, which are going to keep you younger longer. And if you want to get on an anti-aging diet, this is the diet that I would recommend to you guys. Foods that are high in nutrients and low in calories. There's far too much emphasis in plant-based diets in this day and age, in my opinion, of carbohydrates and carb the F up and eat all these carbs. A lot of carbs, in my opinion, could do some damage, And so we want to, yes, we want to get some healthy carbohydrates, but we also want to focus on the nutrients. If you eat a diet of nothing but rice and beans, potatoes, hey, that's great, you're saving the animals, but how does that really help you out with terms of your longevity, with terms of your bladder infection, right, by eating those foods, when the cranberries have been shown and proven to help with bladder infections and urinary tract infections and whatnot, right? So foods have medicinal properties, and that's what Hippocrates said, let food be that medicine and medicine be that food. And you guys have a choice every meal you take. Instead of just eating high carbohydrate foods, hey, why don't you eat some high carbohydrate plus also some high nutrient foods. So if you're going to have a potato, instead of just having a white rice potato, have a sweet potato, because that's a choice and a move in a better direction. Of course, instead of just having a baked potato or a cooked potato, for me, I'd much rather even go beyond the potato and have something like, juiced bell peppers, a little bit of blended nuts and seeds, and some cut up vegetables out of my garden, and maybe some natto put in there. And, I'll make a really nice nutrient-dense soup with high levels of antioxidants that help meet my goals of, eating lower caloric foods, but also high nutrient foods, while of course getting enough calories to survive, maintain my weight, and thrive. I mean, you could eat a plant-based diet and just, survive, or you could thrive. And I want you guys to thrive. And the only way you're going to do that is if you make every meal count, and don't just squander your meals. Oh, I was out and I just had a vegan cheeseburger or something at the vegan restaurant. How well is that going to serve you compared to eating like, or drinking a fresh juice, or maybe a smoothie, or just eating some fresh fruit, right? I always want to encourage you guys to do good, better, best. Do the best you guys can and eat the most nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables you guys can at every single meal, as much as you could possibly fit in, and a wide variety too. I mean, this is just my maybe third meal of the day, my first meal today. I had some coconut water upon awakening to get hydrated. Then later on, when I got hungry, I made some cactus fruit, fresh cactus fruit juice with young coconut and vanilla bean and probiotics. Then, but later, I had some 18 ounces of organic blueberries, and then later I had some kale chips, actually, that I dried myself in the dehydrator from my garden, and then now I'm having this. So these are all, nutrient-dense meals, and tonight I'll probably have like pepper soup, like I explained. But yeah, every meal you guys have a choice, and I want you guys to eat water-rich, raw fruits and vegetables as much as you can, and fit as many as you guys can into your diet, because the more diversity of them you get in your diet, in my opinion, the healthier you will be, and the better you will be able to meet your health goals. It makes me really sad when I see people into raw foods get cancer, or people, on a plant-based diet, aren't doing well because they're just not including these, the majority of their diet in fresh fruits and vegetables. And that's what I'm about. I'm not going to waste and squander my time needlessly eating junk foods, processed foods, and things that aren't going to allow me to meet my health goals. And the other thing is, I just feel great doing what I do, and I want all you guys to feel great. And I know all you guys right now watching this are not feeling great, and there's no price you could pay, because it's like the saying goes, like, nothing tastes as good as good health feels. And I guess I'll just leave you with that thought. And I love good health, and it tastes good too, and makes me feel great, and I hope it can do that for you. So eat more fruits and vegetables, whether you got to juice them, blend them, or just eat them whole. And be sure to grow your own too. That's the next level. The raw food end game is what I like to call it. You can learn how to grow your own foods at my other channel, growingyourgreens.com. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick episode. Once again, my name is John Kohler with okraw.com. We'll see you next time. And until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best. All right, this is John Kohler with okraw.com. Today, another exciting episode for you. And what we're going to do in this episode is actually interview my friend Cecilia Starr, who I met actually at the Woodstock Fruit Festival. And she got into a health journey